I cut these apart either individually or into strings. I know right away which side is positive and negative. And this little procedure goes pretty quick here. Okay, next thing we do, I'm going to make a couple of light poles with these. Just to show you what the these little light poles will look like when we're done. We'll get into the details of the materials I'm using here. Let's say 3/32 inch aluminum tube for the mast or for the pole. Here's one that's got that I've used in yards and so forth for my layout. This one's got 2 lights on there. And you can see here, and I've got a red and blue wire for my. It works pretty well. Nice. Be something I would use, say, in a yard or something like this. This one is a single lamp. It's just a straight pole with just like a street lamp. We'll leave the chain intact for other projects. Some of these you might want the chain to, or the string rather, for using in interior lights. If you use several lamps for lighting a building, you wouldn't want to cut them all apart. It's easier to leave them all in a chain so they can be used for interior lighting projects. But for now, let's we'll start with how we put together these lamps and clean these up a little bit. Now you can see I've already still got the marking. It might be a little hard to see the black on the wire here, but I've marked each one of these so I know which one is the negative pole and which one would be the positive pole. So there's the negative there and the negative there. So, all right, next step. All right, we're going to solder some leads to our lights here. I've got some very fine wire. I don't have black, so I'm using blue. I'm not sure what gauge this is, but it's very fine wire. It might be wrapping wire or something like that. But anyway, if you can find some real fine gauge wire, you're in good shape. So we're going to make just a single pole lamp here first. And the first thing I'm going to do, let's see, we still got the marks on. Here's my negative lead. Doesn't matter which one, but I'm going to take one of these leads and I'm going to cut it in half. This way I can stagger the joints and I don't have as much chance of joints being so close to each other to short out, so it helps to stagger those joints a little bit. Now you want to make your joints as small and as clean as you can here, so you can make sure you get a nice clean joint. And when you do the soldering here, the clear coat on the LEDs will melt. We got our good connections here. We're going to have to cover these solder joints here, because once it goes inside the tube, aluminum tube is going to conduct the electricity, and you don't want these joints exposed, or otherwise it'll short and the thing won't work. Originally I was trying this liquid electric tape, but it seems to have to go on kind of thick and kind of big and globby by the time you can get enough on there to cover, and it wouldn't stay on very well either. It would kind of peel off after a while, so I was a little disappointed with that. So what I do, I'm going to try this time, use a little enamel paint. And we're just going to paint these. And for end scale, I don't know what you want to use for HO, but for end scale I use about a 3-inch length, and that's usually pretty good for me to get the height I need, plus a little extra length to anchor it into the table. And these cut why it's important to try to make your solder connections as small and clean as you can, because once you put this into the tube, there's pretty tight connections here and not a lot of space. So I put that in there, and I'm going to bend the lamp. This is going to be a little single pole street lamp. I'll bend the lamp down at the top like that, and then we'll give this a test. And it worked. Oh boy, what do you know? So this is a good lamp. We don't have any shorts in there. And seeing how this is going to be an exterior lamp, I'm going to take a little black paint. Yeah, I might need more than one coat, but just for now I'll start with one coat. Paint the top of that lamp so the light doesn't shine back through the top. You might also notice I've cleaned up the end of this light here. I've snipped it back a little bit and filed it smooth so that the wires aren't extending out through the end there. So I'll try to clean it up a little bit. So there you go. Wait till that dries. You may need more than one coat to keep the light from shining through. Alright, here's our double light. Again, we put this through the mast or the pole. And here it becomes even more critical that you've got clean solder and clean joints, because you've got not one but two wires going down on each connection, and try to get those in there nice and neat. And the lights I bend out to the sides like that, and give this a test. Hold your breath, make sure it still works. I think, hope, and we're good. Good lights. visor or the shade on our two light pole lamp, I've taken some, this is a strip of evergreen styrene that's 1/8 inch angle. Press the foil in there, and once it's dry, then I'll trim the foil, and I wind up with this little tiny visor. I don't know if the foil does so much as reflect the light for you, but the main reason I use the foil in there is because it's a good light block. It keeps the light from shining back through the visor or through the shade. Some installation methods and how to get the lights working on the layout. So come back in a little while, see part 2. I'll try to get that done as soon as I can. And in the meantime, thanks for coming, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Your support and interest is always greatly appreciated. Thanks so much. We'll see you in part 2.